Hey, if you're in or nearing retirement, you're going to want to listen to what our guest has to say. Of course, Lowcountry Money Talk is the show where Phil Bloyd really helps unpack all kinds of questions you may have during retirement. And of course, Phil's with Revolutionary Financial Group. It's so good to have you, and let's keep talking about this.
Okay.
Lots to cover.
Yeah, let's do it.
So before the break, we were talking about, really some of the things that could affect our retirement. Costs, of course, that could make our dollar not worth a dollar. And there's a lot of factors.
Sure.
We were really uncovering some of the factors related to healthcare costs. I want to continue down this journey for our viewers to learn a little bit more about how these costs really can affect us during retirement and touching on that long-term care.
Yeah, so Jessa, we talked earlier about the loss of the income for taxes. Then we talked about inflation. So I'm not sure how much of that dollar we have left.
Right.
But healthcare costs are really expensive.
They are.
And I don't think they're going down.
It's not looking good.
No.
No.
So let's talk about long-term care. So right now in the area we look at, and this is just a basic number, it could be much higher, but $10,000 a month for full-blown nursing care. So let's say, for example, the average age of a person in the facility may be 83, but before that you may need to live in assisted living or something to this nature. But let's focus just on the skilled care for now.
Okay.
So let's say $10,000 a month, and that could be light. It could be 12, 13, 14, you name it. But let's just concentrate on 10. The average stay is 3.5 years and 83 years old. So if I'm 83 and female, I'm sorry,
Okay.
but there's more females than males. Usually us tough guys, we just like fall over, we're done with it. And then who's going to take care of you?
Right.
So in the earlier days, it used to be, well, I'm going to have a family member take care of me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of family members, unfortunately, these days can't take care of themselves.
Barely can do that. It's true. And so we got to factor that in.
So the daughter leaves, and she goes out and has a few years of life and whatever, and she comes back with 2 or 3 more. And there's 4 people living in your home. So in the years past, they would say a family member would take care of them.
Right.
That would be their strategy. But we see less and less of that these days.
Yeah, and it's less and less feasible because people are living busier lives. Oftentimes, both husband and wife are working, trying to make ends meet. So long-term care is a huge factor in retirement planning.
Well, what if, I don't know about your family, but I'll talk about my family for a minute. I don't want them taking care of my parents.
Yeah.
They don't have the skills to do that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
Absolutely.
we would want our loved ones to have the best care. So right now it's about $10,000 a month. So if we say, okay, we're going to go 42 months, and that's $420,000.
Whew, that's a lot to save for.
So how many of you have set that aside? And they're like, well, I have a long-term care plan. And I'm like, when's the last time it was updated? So we have to prepare for this. So I like to use leveraging. There's other ways that we can do it with assets. We're not going to have a lot of time to get into that, but we need to address this in our financial plan.
Yes.
And unfortunately, Jessa, most people I meet with, I'm like, okay, what are we doing for long-term care? And they're like, well, I guess we'll spend our money. And I'm like, well, figure not just 10,000, but let's say 13 years from now, maybe it's 20,000 a month.
Wow.
That's a big number.
It is a big number, and so I know that there's ways obviously that you are able to help people plan for these things, and a lot of things, of course, damaging the value of that dollar as we're in retirement. But again, the good news is you're able to help people plan for that, make adjustments along the way as needed, so that you don't get into those moments as you get into those ages where you just don't have enough. We've got more. We've got one more segment for you. We're going to unpack some more questions you might have and provide some answers. This is Lowcountry Money Talk. Phil Bloyd is here. We'll be right back. Stick with us.